Hi, welcome to Notebooks and Things. This is the first video I'm making, so I thought it would be fun to show you my pen collection, or specifically my fountain pen collection. So I am actually refilming this part because the video quality was just really bad earlier, but it's night, so I have my lights on. So the lighting's gonna be pretty different between this part and the next part, or parts. Picking up where I left off, the cheap pens. This is what we're starting with. First, my Kaweco Perkeo. This is a fine nib, and I was originally gonna get the pink one, but then I saw Heartstopper and green. Yeah, I still really like it though. And then I have two platinum preppies. This is the Preppy Wa in the koi color, and the nib's nice. I love the detail. It's so glittery. And this one's just a clear one that I started painting, never continued. Will I ever get back to it? I don't know. And this is a Twsbi Eco that I destroyed because I unassembled it one day, and then I ended up losing part of the inside. So Twsbi Eco that I can't really use as much anymore. But I still have it. I painted it before I got paint pens, and I'm just slowly scratching away at any paint that's left. And this is a super cute cat pen I got on AliExpress. This was relatively recent, part of my Tariff panic buy, because it's been in my cart for 3 years, and I finally got it. But I've been wanting it for so long. Can you see the nib? It's okay, great, it's focused. It's a cat. I love that the nib is also a cat. There's a bow, and it's so fun, so pretty. And then I have all my Kako Skies. I really like Kako Skies. I have one that's inked right now. It's the purple one, but there's a crack, a huge crack in the body that I taped over. It's a pretty bad crack. And there's another smaller crack right here. But I'm still using it. It's fine. I'm hoping one day, if it's even possible, I could get like a custom made body for these, so I could like take out the nib unit and put it in the fancy custom pretty pen with all the glitter and everything, because I do really like the nib, and these nib units do screw out, and they're all extra fines, but I can't do this right now, but they're all extra fines. But they do write a bit broader. They write like a very wet fine nib, but they're really nice to write with. I like how they feel. Now in this thing, I have 3 Twsbi Goes. One of these is a fine and one of these is an extra fine. I don't remember exactly which one's which. I might have also switched their bodies at some point, so I don't really know. And this one is a stub nib. And I really like Twsbi Goes. This one's one I started painting when I got paint pens, and I need to make it look better. Make the paint look better, which I will do one day, eventually. I don't know when, but eventually. But Twsbi Goes are really nice. They're really easy to use because you could just unscrew that and push down to fill. Are you stuck? Are you stuck? Oh my god, this is stuck. It's been a while since I used it, so that's probably why. Like, I usually end up inking up this one because it's a stub nib, and I like having a wider nib for like headings and stuff, but I haven't really inked up my extra finer fines lately. I really need to use them again because they're so convenient. You just put it in a bottle of ink and it sucks it up, and then you put it back together and it's done. Yay! You may or may not have to wipe off the nib first, but that's whatever. You have to do that with every pen anyways. But I do like the Twsbi Goes more than I like the Ecos, which I wish they came in prettier colors, but it's also a good thing for my wallet, I guess, but if only. These are the Wingsung 3008s, and these are also really nice. I got 4 of them, I think, and I gave 2 of them away to friends because I was getting them into pens. But these are nice. They're pretty cheap, and they have a cool clear feed, which is fun because you can see the color of the ink, and I love that. And These are nice. These are really nice to write with too, like surprisingly nice. And I think you can swap the nib with a pilot nib, like a pilot steel nib. I'm not sure. I've never tried, but I've heard you can. So maybe. And speaking of pilots, I have 2 pilot Metropolitans here. One has a CM nib, which is like the pilot stub nib, and one of them is an extra fine. So the purple one's an extra fine, and I love how these sound when you tap them. I just love that, but I'm not a fan of their bodies. Like, love the nib. I don't really like the bodies as much. They're also very professional looking, and I'm not the biggest fan of professional looking things. So, yeah, but they are nice. And then I have some really cheap Sanrio pens I got probably on AliExpress. I think I got them on AliExpress. I don't actually know where I got them, but it was a while ago. But there's Hello Kitty, Cinnamoroll, and My Melody. I used to have a 4th one, but I probably gave that away too. But these are nice. These are surprisingly nice. Like, there's better pens, and I haven't inked these in a while, but they're fun. They came with blue cartridges that are also surprisingly nice. So, yeah. I don't know what they're called though, so I can't help anyone find them. What next? What next? There should be a pilot penmanship in here somewhere. Here it is. This, I actually got a pack of 2, but one of them I dropped and the nib fell apart. But this one's still fine. I like them for the nibs, not the bodies. But the bodies are still light and easy, so I do reach for this more than I do the Metropolitans. And I do still think they're ugly, but the nib's nice. And it's like a nice beater pen. I can just throw it around. And it has a really nice nib. And now my pile of sharks. I love sharks. I really love sharks. Like, not so much sharks the animal, but sharks the fish. But shark pens, these are the best. I do prefer the older hooded nibs to the newer, well, these kind of nibs. The old hooded nibs were really nice and wet, and I really like them with sheening inks. But these are more like, they're still really nice. They're just not as much my favorite as the old ones were. I do also have a few of the normal nib old ones. Which one is it? I think this one. Yeah, this looks like the one. Yeah. I do have 1 or 2 or 3 of these two, but I did prefer the hooded nib, so I have more of these. And I don't count these sharks as multiple pens. These are 1 pen. This is 1 pen. You do not see my pile of sharks. You see 1 shark. That's all you see. I don't have 5 billion sharks. I have 1. Because I do have too many pens. But sharks count as 1 pen, so it's fine. It's fine. They count as 1. And this is a really fun stub nib that I bought from someone online because they were selling custom ground shark pens at some point. But I got like a pretty fine stub nib, and it's super fun. But yeah, those are my, now some of them are upside down. Those are my extra cheap pens, the pens that I can toss around and I'll be perfectly fine, except for this, but this is just because it's already kind of dead. I'll get a replacement for you eventually. I won't get a replacement for the whole pen, I'll just get a replacement for this part because it is the clear one, so I should be able to get one somewhere. I think if I like go through the Twsbi website, I'll get one. But yeah, pens. I'm back with more pens. In here, I have some of my favorites. These are mostly Wansai Minis, and I love Wansai Minis so much, but this one's a Q2 actually. Extra fine. Most of these are extra fine. I think I have a couple of fines and a couple that I put bent nibs in, but they're mainly extra fines. But I love this pink. That's my only Q2 right now. But I have 4 clear ones because at one point these were on sale for like $3 or $4 each. So I just got a bunch. Or was it $2? I don't actually remember how much it was, but yeah, huge sale. This one's still blank, but this one I started painting at some point and never continued. I did have a sketch for this, but I never continued it. This one is decorated with Soup Sprite nail stickers. I used most of an entire sheet of nail stickers for this one, but I did get 2 more sheets, so I have more for when I want to decorate other things. And then this one has pretty butterfly nail stickers. Yay, butterflies. I like butterflies. Butterflies are pretty. And then I have 2 of the newer candy colors that recently came out. And these are actually kind of glittery. I don't know if you can see them through the camera, but they have a bit of glitter in them, and I love that. I think these are both fine nibs. I do plan on getting almost all of the others in the candy collection eventually, but those are the 2 I got for now. And I have this bottle green, one of the older ones, also really pretty. And I have this one. This one's super stained because I had platinum carbon black in here, and I did swap out the nib for a bent nib because I love sketching with bent nibs. And I do have another one that's currently inked with a mix of platinum carbon black and platinum pigment sepia to make like a dark brown. This is the glittery starry purple thing. Purple, I think. I know it's the purple, but I don't remember if it was called a glittery purple or the starry purple or something like that, but it's so pretty. But that one's out because I'm using it. This one's the starry blue. It's nice and glittery. And then here I have this pretty acrylic blue one. This one I swapped the nib with a Faber-Castell grip because I love that nib, but I wasn't the hugest fan of the body, so now this isn't a pretty body because it actually fit. It was an experiment and it fit, and I love that it fit. Is this focusing right? Yeah, I think it's focusing. Yeah, that's extra fine Faber-Castell grip nib, and I do love it. And this is loud. Okay. Yeah, okay, that's better. Yay. And then I have 3 of the shiny iridescent ones. There's this one, and this one, and this one. They're so pretty. But I put them in this because I couldn't find another one that was good at holding them all. And now, this is a case that the sharks came in. If you buy 12 sharks, you sometimes get them in a case like this. A couple of the times I ordered them, I just got them all bundled together in a package and not in a box like this. So, yeah. But, oh no, my glove. Okay. This is a Pilot Petite. It's very cute, very small. And then I have a Pilot Pluminix over here. This one has a CM nib too. Very nice. I love it. Or, I love the nib. I'm not the hugest fan of the body, but it's easy. And then these are a bunch of M2s. I have 3 fines and 3 extra fines. One of the fine nib ones it's inked right now. Let's see if I can find it back here. Yeah, here it is. This one's inked right now with a shimmery ink. Glitter. But I have 3 fines and 3 extra fines. And here are my platinum meteors. And this one's Hello Kitty. They're all Sanrio, but they have little stars on the nib. I love that. And this one's Hello Kitty. There's Gudetama, My Melody, and this one's Cinnamoroll. Let me just... Where are you? Oh, there you are. Hard to see. Cinnamoroll. And now, the case. This was one of my first fountain pen cases, along with this one. Though this one's meant for putting on a book, so I could like take it out when I was sketchbooking and stuff. But this one's like a case. So this is a case I would take to college. I just choose pens, try not to fill it up entirely, but I'd fill it up kind of, and take those whenever I move out for college, and move back in and move out and move in college. But these have my nicer pens right now. Or like, they're not all the nicest of pens or even the fanciest of pens, but they are what I consider nicer pens. So first on this side, I have a bunch of clicky pens. This one's the Mahjong Moonman M2, A2, not M2. And this one, they're clicky. This one's nice, I like it. And so is this one. This is the Jinhao 10. This one's a pretty pink gradient and it's glittery. I love that. And also clicky. I didn't think I'd like these as much, but they were really nice to write with. And this one's another Jinhao 10 in a coffee kind of color, but this one's matte, while that one's glossy and glittery. And I like that there's a difference in like the finish, but it also surprised me at first because I didn't realize they'd be so different. And then this one's a Jinhao 20, and this one's in a, I don't know how well it's coming across on camera, but it's a pretty pearl pink. It's very pale. And for this one, unlike the others, the nib is also gold. The hardware on this is rose gold, And I don't think this is really super visible. Is that more visible? Yeah, I think that's more visible. But the nib is also either gold or rose gold, while for this one, the nib's still stainless steel, like the silvery steel. So that's really interesting. And the Jinha 20 is really nice. I like the translucentness of this one. And then here I have an Opus 88. It's the Pandemic Minty version. And it's so glittery. I love it. This one's in an extra fine. You can tell I lean towards finer nibs because I like any nib when I'm drawing, though I do prefer wider nibs when I'm drawing, or like line variation with bent nibs. But when I'm writing, I prefer super fine ones. And this one's a Conklin Durograph in matte black and rainbow because about 3 years ago, I was on a mission to get all the rainbow pens I could afford. Now, I would still like all the rainbow pens I can afford, but it's less of a mission and more of a, I hope I get them, but I might not get them, but I hope I get them. But yeah, this one's the Twsbi 580 in Iris. This one has an extra fine nib. And these have not a full rainbow nib, but rainbow at the tips, and that's fun. So pretty. And then I have the same thing, but the VAC version. This one's a broad, though. That one's an extra fine, this one's a broad. And I have a Schaefer Agio Mini, also in rainbow. I got this one on eBay. I don't like that the grip section's plastic, but the rest of it's rainbow, so that's okay, I guess. But it also clicks really nice. And then here, these are mainly Hongdians. I have Hongdians and Hongdian, and these three are the only not Hongdian. And this one's an M2. Super nice, super pretty. There's a cat. Cat. Yay, cat. But it's an extra fine, of course. And this one's an M1. I got this after I got the M2, even though I did hear there were slight differences in the nib, like the M2 nib is supposed to be nicer than the M1 nib. I do like both of the nibs. I do see the difference, or well, I feel the difference, but they are both extra fine nibs, but I couldn't not get this, and it has a little smiley face. Smiley face. I can't not get the smiley face. And it's a pretty purple, so yeah. And then these two are the N8s, and these two, especially together, they remind me of Heaven Official's Blessing. And I read the books 4 years ago at this point. Yeah, 4 years ago. And I love them. And these reminded me of them so much, so I had to get both. This one my cousin actually got me. It has the long knife nib, which is kind of like an architect. I'm not sure if it's like exactly like an architect, but like it has some variation and it's really nice. And then this one's an extra fine. But I love them and I always put them together because they need to be together. This one's in N7 in the rabbit color. And I need to get, I do also want to get the peacock, but it's been over 3 years and I still haven't gotten it. So I don't know when I'll end up buying it, but eventually maybe, because I do want both. And this is the N23. It's so pretty. And the nib on this one is also super nice. But this is also just a regular extra fine. But it has a rabbit on the nib. But I love this pen. This is really nice. This also feels fancier than the others. And now the not Hongdians. This is an Asvine V126. This is the frosted blue, which was my favorite of the colors. And I have another one that's currently inked. And this one's the frosted black. I have it inked with Diamine Earl Grey right now. And both of these are extra fine. But I love them. They're nice. They write really well too. And then these two are Tom Studio pens. I got them used off of someone else. And this one is Mulberry in a Proflex nib. And the Proflex is actually a Zebra G nib. So if this ever rusts or dies on me, I can just swap it out with another G pen nib. I should have a few lying around, but even if I don't, they're easy to buy and they're not expensive either. And this is Sage in Architect with an Architect nib. This is also super nice. And those are the pens in here. And I do have, they're not exactly fountain pens, but they are refillable. This is the Tom Studio Lumos Mini. This one's an Ivy. And I have a 0.3 fine liner tip on here right now. And right now I have it inked with Herbon's Poussière de Lune. Did I say that right? I don't know if I said that right. But I also have another one. This one's in the Splash colorway with a pink lid and a blue body. But this one has nothing in it right now. This one's a wren in lilac, and this one is also a wren in the write-off series. So like the lid is plastic while the body's metal, and this is iris with a nimbus, I think, for the lid. But these are really nice. Taking these two out, but keeping the ones I'm not using in. But yeah, these are super nice. I like them. And okay, I'm back with more. And it's starting to get dark, so the lighting might change. I'm right next to the window. And this, I've kept it in its box for now because the box is pretty and it looks so pretty. But it's a Pelican M200 that I got on sale in rose quartz because I thought the color was super pretty. And this is an extra fine nib. Unfortunately, the nib is a little too scratchy. I love feedback, but I don't like scratchiness. And it comes with ink, and this ink actually looks green in the bottle, but it's pink, but it looks green in the bottle, and that's so fun. But I need to get that smoothened a bit, I guess. I don't know, something like that. But I really like it. It's super pretty, and I got it on sale, so I don't want to get rid of it. I'll see what if I can find someone to smoothen it out. But I have these Hello Kitty Kaweco Sports too. They're the plastic ones, but I kept them in the boxes because I bought them while I was at college, and now that I've graduated, they're at home with me and they're still in the boxes. I need to take them out, but I didn't want to lose the boxes. But this is Moonlight Pink, and then there's the Stardust Purple, and they came with little keychains. So glittery. And I think the nib is also Hello Kitty. Focus, focus, focus. Why aren't you focusing? I'm offended. Okay, yeah, it's focused. Yay, Hello Kitty. Both of them have Hello Kitty on the nib, and they're super pretty. And I need to get clips for them eventually. One day. Eventually. And this is the Pilot Kakuno in straight tea. I didn't think I'd be able to get this one. I really wanted this one, but I'm keeping it in the box for now, but it's really pretty. Really pretty color, really nice. I will take it out of the box eventually. I took the cartridge out of the box, but this is staying in the box for now. Before we open the big case, more pens. I love these pen cases. They're super pretty. They're really nice. And these are my rainbow pens, other than the ones in the other case. So this is a Conklin Durograph in medium. Got it on sale, and I also got this on sale. That's not the Conklin Durograph. This is a Hongdian Rainbow Forest. I don't know why I mix them up. They're very different. Like, this is the Durograph. It's heavy. Conklin Rainbow Forest. One of my first pens was a Hongdian Forest in blue with a bent nib, and it changed my life forever. I gave the blue one away to a cousin who wanted to try fountain pens, and I have rainbow now. I have all the rainbow nibs too, because rainbow. And this is a Conklin Durograph. It has stainless steel, I think stainless steel, silvery accents, I guess. Not actual silver, of course, it's steel. This is a medium nib, and I have the All-American with an Omniflex nib, which really isn't a very flexy nib, but it's nice to write with. And the clip. But they're both very shiny, very nice. And this one I got last year. It's the 2024 Pride Edition Narwhal. The Key West, because I did also want the Voyage, I think it's called, but expensive. So I got the Key West, and it's glittery and so pretty. And the nib's rainbow. The only thing I'm sad about is that the nib feels way too smooth for me. I need to deal with that, and I do know how to deal with that. I just haven't done it yet. But it's super pretty. And next, let me just pull. Yay! Putting this aside. These are my fancy pens in a really cute case. So I have Sailor Pro Gear Slims. This one's the collab with Plus, I think. One of them, anyways. They do a lot. And this was a birthday present. I love it. It's so pretty. With the medium fine nib. And this is the... I don't remember what it's called. But I got it on Amazon. Or I got the medium fine on Amazon, but then I sold it. And because someone had an extra fine, and I got the extra fine instead for like a pretty good price. So yeah. Oh, and I have another one. Where is my other one? Around here somewhere. Ah, there you are. Here it is. This was inked. I need to clean this out now because it's empty. But this is the Taco, also with a medium fine nib, and this goes here when it's not being used. but I usually have a Sailor inked at all times. But another relatively new, but it's more new as in I got it last year, but I didn't want to take it to college, so Platinum Century and Nice Lavend. I don't remember half the names of these, but super pretty purple. I want the pink one too, but that's a problem for future me. But yay, pretty pens. These are my fancy pens. And now, the big one. Oh, it's upside down. Okay, back. We're back. This is mainly Kakuno's. One of my favorites. I love Kakuno so much. And I do have one that's inked right now. This is the Madoromi Pink. I can't words right now. What are words? But yeah, I love it. I love all of my Kakunos. Or, I love Kakunos in general, so I started collecting them. So I have the AliExpress purple. Most of the Madoromi series. I didn't want the white cream one. So like, I'm only collecting the ones that I like. I don't want the ones I don't like the color of. So this one I got used. This is one of the older limited editions, and this is the glass blue from AliExpress. And these are the family series. The only one I don't have is the baby because I wasn't a fan of the color. But yeah, I have the rest. I have everyone else. And this is a clear one, and I have 2 of the pastel ones. I just need a purple one, and it'll complete my pastel colors collection. But I have a Prera. This is in the bright pink. I need to ink this. I got it relatively recently, like in the past year at some point. I think it was the past year at some point. I might be wrong. And then I have Sailors. These are I think they're the Prophet Juniors, but they're the steel nib. These are really nice. I got one of them, and I think, was this one the first one I got? It might have been the first one I got. I don't know. But these are really nice to write with. I really like them. I have 3. Do I need 3? Not really, because they're all the same nib. They're all medium fines, but they're also really nice to write with. So, I don't know. And now, more pens. I have 4 vintage pens. This is a random pen. I do not actually know what this is, but I have a Platinum, a Sailor, and a Pilot. They're all vintage pens, and I've been too scared to ink them up, but who knows? Hopefully I'll ink them up next year. This is so pretty. But eventually, I will try these out in 2026. I promise. And I have some Conrights, 2 Desires, and 1 Heritage. But these are my Desires. One of these is a fine flex, and one of these is an extra fine flex. I do also have extra nibs for these because I got the nib sets too, or sets of nibs that they sell on online. And this is my Heritage. This is the Ultra Flex, I think. Unless I changed out the nib, but yeah, it looks like the Ultra Flex. But these are nice. I need to use them more, but they're nice. I didn't take them to school because I thought they were too nice. And this is my Faber-Castell grip that I swapped the nib into my Wansai Mini, and this now has a Moonman nib. And I have 2 Lamy Safaris. This one's a light rose, and this one's the aquamarine. This was also one of my first pens. This is a medium nib. I might actually sell this eventually. I'm not sure. But I did not like the medium nib. It was way too wet for me. But this one is an extra fine nib, and I like this nib. This nib is much nicer. I don't think I'll be getting more Lamys, though. I struggle way too much. And I have more Kaweco Sports. I have 2 that are inked right now. And I have these 2. The Lavender and the Sage. And this one, what nib are you? The Broad? This one's a Broad. That means this one, what are you, an extra fine? Yeah, this one's an extra fine. Because I have a double Broad and a fine ink right now. So, and here are my 2 other Kaweco Sports. This one's the Iridescent Pearl. So pretty. With a bronze clip. Bronze brass, I don't know actually. But this one has a broad nib. I have it inked with Sailor Manyo Haha right now. And I like using it for headers. And this is a mellow blue with a fine nib. And Twsbi's. But first, I have this Fonte pen. It's the limited edition Sumiko Garashi pen. I think it's limited edition. I don't actually know if it's limited edition. I might be wrong. Who knows? But I'm not a huge fan of the nib. I don't know if I want to keep this one. It's too smooth for me. I might fix it. I don't know. We'll see. I have Twsbi Ecos in hot pink. This one I got used, and the body actually cracked the first time I inked it, so I got a new one, a new body for it, but pretty pink. And then I have the jade green and the glow purple. I'm not gonna show off the nibs on those. And I also have two that are inked right now in pastel blue and pastel pink. Super pretty. And I also have another Diamond 580 in purple. Purple. Super pretty. There are like 2 or 3 of the newer Twsbi Ecos, like the ones that were released in the past like 2 or 3 years that I really want, but it's whatever. Maybe one day. I just want the Persian green and the Caribbean Onyx 580. What pens do I have inked? I don't have... Oh, I have this Opus 88. Oh, wait, why are you... Let me just close up the thing. Yeah. And Baby Beluga with a medium nib. This one's inked right now with a glittery ink. Yay. And those are my pens. Wait, do I have one more? I have one more. I have this one. I got it for free. It's holding Earl Grey mixed with shimmer right now, but it was free. Yeah, pens, yay. So I hope you guys enjoyed listening to me ramble on about my pens and show off my collection. And I hope to post like at least once a month, hopefully once a week, but life, so maybe once a month. And one of my 2026 goals is to use up more of my pens and know which ones I want to keep or give away or sell. So hopefully I'll do that. And if you guys have any videos you'd want to see or any suggestions, I would love to hear them or, well, read them. So if you have anything, please put them in the comments and I'd love to hear more. Just remember, my sharks are 1 pen. They're not a billion. They're 1. Anyways, that's the end of my rambles for today. Bye!